Hello, folks. Glad you can be with me today. Hope you're doing fine. Me, I'm doing great. Um, I've been 4 hours, excuse me, 3 hours trying to get this confounded stuff called the internet to stay on. And last time I got to 46 seconds and it froze up. And the other ones, I had two or three more on that I had to cancel that I didn't get it 10 or 12 seconds and kept going on and off. And done that for 2 hours. And I had to shut my computer down and uh, I had to do it because it was froze up and I had to completely shut it off. And then it took an hour for it to get back to uh, even keel. So, anyhow, we made it up to a minute and 15 seconds coming up. And I, I really shouldn't have come on after all that trouble, but I wanted y'all to know what was happening. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and we had a good one here. My grandbabies is in from uh, Ohio and here in town, and my son and daughter was here, and their spouse, and we had a good time. And Tim, he stayed in there and visited with Larry most night he was here. But that was all right. Somebody had to talk to him and make him feel comfortable. And but it was a good day. Larry had another first tonight, I think. Uh, Made it in, used the bathroom in the bathroom, which is the first time in a while. He got a shower this week, first time since August the 6th for both of those. And I'm sure he enjoyed that. And I asked him if everything come out all right. He said it did. So that's good. But anyhow, he's getting improving every week, every day, really, and doing something. And he'll he kind of waits till ain't nobody here, and I'm going to bed, and he'll get to think about something. He'll get up and try it, and he fell down the other night, and I didn't know until next morning. Looks like we got somebody just joined up with us. Hope they stay on and talk to us. Uh, I don't blame you if you don't, because I haven't stayed on the last uh, well, actually, the last 2 or 3 Fridays, I've had the same problem. It just seems like every Friday at 5 o'clock or a little before that it's like they must be working on the line somewhere or something. I don't know, because I know they can't be accidents hitting the poles uh, on every Friday afternoon. It just ain't feasible. But anyhow, uh, if you want to get on chat with us, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. Um, I just wanted to explain why I haven't didn't get on 5 o'clock. Same reason last 3 or 4 Fridays, and just can't get the internet to work with us. But that's enough griping about the internet. I guess we're lucky to have it at all. I remember times when we couldn't do this. We didn't have no internet, and I thought we was a whole lot better. I think we was a whole lot better off then than we are now. Because I can't go nowhere without getting 4 or 5 calls every minute. And luckily, some of them I'm on the phone talking to somebody. When I get them, I just let them slide out. But I never did need this much conversation as far as contact with the world. Uh, I was enjoying being in contact with my surrounding country and didn't need the world. I could read that in the news back then. Of course, the news is not near as good today as it was back then. Everybody's got their own agenda in the news, and if you're not on the agenda, you're a piece of crap. That's the way they put it. And y'all let me know what you think about that. But if we was for Trump, we was a piece of crap. If we was for people, kids having more say, or parents having more say so in school, we don't know nothing about what school's all about. We're a piece of crap. So I don't think all this stuff is useful to us anyhow. We're going to end up back with the old landlines or horse and buggy and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I won't be here to see it probably, but who knows? I might be because I don't think it's that far down the road. Uh, we're going to mess up everything we got. Somebody's going to drop one of them big bombs, and it's going to take out all the communications uh, everywhere. And my son was telling me the other day they got something that's stopped missiles from coming into the United States right now, blow them all up before they get into our uh, zone. And I don't know if that's true or not. He don't either, I don't think. But he was telling me that, and if they do, that's great. If they don't, we'll live with it or die with it, one or the other. And I really uh, not worried about one way or the other as far as myself, because I'm ready to go anytime the old boy wants me. And I just do what I can, when I can, where I can, how I can, with what I can. So it's the only thing you do. Ain't had no chatters on there with us. David, are you out there? Drain the swamp, are you out there? Uh, they probably didn't notify you on this one because I done tried to do three, and they probably got tired of trying to let people know I was coming on. But anyhow, looks like we're on for a while anyhow. And I got up and while my computer was cleaning itself up, and put on some pork chops, and I'll stay until it's ready to take care of them, and then I'll have to get off here. But I'd like somebody to come on there and hit that like button and stick with us and talk a while. But not likely after going three for old the way we did. Maybe four, I can't remember. I know I had three of them that got on out on the internet, and they only one that lasted a few seconds, and it was hard to get them off because darn internet wouldn't stay on long enough for me to get them off. I finally did, and then I just quit. Let the computer clean itself out. Let the internet have time to get on. I think it come on about 7:45. But yeah, that's just life. Um, I saw where uh, Jack Smith dropped charges on Trump. I look for that man to go to jail anyhow. Because I can't believe you can just make up charges like that and put on people and not be responsible for it and go to jail, spend time in jail. If I went out here and started talking about somebody, I guarantee you I'd end up in jail. And uh, most anybody else would. Free speech is only as free as you let it go. You can't say, you have to be practical about it. Treat others like you want to be treated yourself. And if you want to be slandered like that, well, then slander away. Just hope you can back up yourself when the slander comes your way. Because they might make it stick if you're not a good person. But I'll tell you, I liked it back when we didn't even have television. Uh, I went out and played every day in the sun, get sunburnt, never hurt me. Worked in the sun, just like a grown up did when I was 7, 8 years old. And uh, I mean, I didn't do jobs that was big, but for my age, it was big. And I know one thing: I moved a lot of rocks, Bronc. Uh, put them down in the creek and go right back and rain after he plowed it, and it'd be the same amount of rocks there it was to start with. Of course, I got a lot of circus when he went to plant his tobacco and stuff. That was back when they raised all 15, 20 acres of tobacco, maybe more. I can't remember. Had it up on top of the hill, down the bottoms, and what wasn't in tobacco was in hay. So we put up hay when we wasn't cutting tobacco and so forth for planting and always working. Even when I got up big enough I got my driver's license when I was 14. And if I wasn't up at my aunt and uncle's at the farm in Fleming County, then I'd be over in Ohio with my grandfather over there working in tobacco, hay, and never ended. And I loved to work in the tobacco and hay because, man, when I went over there and worked over in Ohio, for example, they fed me good. And when I was up at Mays and I worked, they fed me good. And that was all anybody could ask for. And they treated me like I was one of their kids. And of course, I was a grandchild, but and nephew, but they treated me just like they did their own, and I liked that. It was the best treatment I got at the time. But anyhow, uh, you know, they ain't nothing more loyal to a family than their horses and their mules. Now, a mule, you go to work on a mule, and if you're going to tell him to do something that he might get hurt doing, he ain't going to do it. But a horse would go right ahead and do it if it killed him. But that's the difference in a horse and a mule. A mule was a lot smarter on that part, and you couldn't get them to do something that if you try to get them to walk through a barbed wire fence, they might throw you over. But that's the only way you're going to get on the other side is if you do it yourself. They ain't going to walk through that barbed wire fence like a horse would. He would try to walk right on through it or run through it if you wanted him to. But they'd also run till they die for you. Mule won't do that. But they, I'm glad they're still around because, and I don't think it's going to be 2 more years. We'll be using them a lot more. And I'll tell you what, if Trump makes John Deere and places like that quit getting parts from overseas, and he'll have to if he can't afford the tariffs that they put on them, you're going to see a lot of people go back to using plows and disc pull horses because these darn parts that you get over there in China and stuff, the tractors, they don't run near as long without fixing them. It seems like they got the computers that they got in them set up to ever so often to click on check engines. And if you don't, something breaks down, burns out. And I've noticed that. I used a John Deere up there at the farm a whole lot. And there was a little, uh, can't remember what you call it, but it was a little electronic device about that big around. Had one wire coming off of it, maybe two, but they all both hooked pretty much the same place. And I think it was just one of them. You could unplug it, and the tractor run just fine until you got one. You just had to put up with it a dying once in a while when you first start. but it would run just fine after it got warmed up. And you got one and put it on there, and it would run great until we go out again about 6 months later. And I guarantee you it's out right now because uh, my niece or my cousin who's operating a tractor now. She don't know anything about those electronics on the side of it, and somebody probably just unhooked it for her, or if it's still running and going without it, because you can. It just don't do it make a lot of other functions properly if you do that, but it'll work. And none of these tractors. I think right now Kubota is probably the best tractor out there, and I think it's made overseas to start with, and I'm not 100% sure about that, but they make it to where it'll last because they're trying to build their name better than the American brands, and they're doing it. At they several more tractors that's made overseas that are good, but you ain't gonna be able to buy them much longer because the tariff's gonna be so high on them. You just can't do it. And I'm all for the tariff. If we can't make it here, you see, they had to have the union. Not talking against the union. I never did like to work for a union, but not talking against them. But the unions kept wanting such higher pay. They said, well, we can have it made cheaper overseas. Well, when they take them jobs and put them overseas, that gives the people in the union a lot less to do. But they still give them pay raises. Now, how's that work out? Cheaper. Because right now, we're paying more for a tractor than we did 10 years ago by double, maybe triple. There's no way that a 2640 or 2460, whatever the numbers are, I can't remember on them John Deere's, but okay, chat disconnected. But there's no way that they should cost more if they're supposed to have cheaper work over there. The laborers here, if they're doing less work, they don't need it. They don't need to have a raise if they're doing less work. But that's where the economy and Trump's trying to get straightened out. And he will, because he'll put a tariff on them. And okay, we got the chat back. If we get anybody on there that wants to chat, let me know what you think about that. But anyhow, now would be a good time for anybody that comes on during the program when they post it to give us a like button and try to subscribe if you can. Don't have to, but don't cost you anything. And it sure help me out. I get I think cameras and mics is the most important thing to these videos. And if you got good mics and cameras, you got better. Now I've got a lot better equipment now than I did a year ago because all I had was my phone a year ago, and now I've got one, two. I've got two phones and a mic, but I got my camera here that I do my lives with. It's a heck of a lot better than doing it on telephone, and so uh, I keep adding to it a little bit at a time, and not going to break the bank to do it because uh, I ain't making no money yet. Don't plan to because I'll probably be dead and gone before I get enough viewers to make any money on it because you have to have several thousand before you make enough to buy good equipment with. But this is just my own money, and I don't want the people to send me money and stuff like that. So I ain't gonna fix up one of them accounts for them to do that. I didn't get on here for them to give me money. If I don't earn it, I don't need it. I'll be able to get probably some uh, where they advertise on your show after I get going pretty good. But I've only got 103 subscribers now, and I need 1,000 before I can start doing whatever it is they do to make money. And so I ain't getting there very quick now. I've been told that I'm 103 subscribers in 9 months is unreal. I think I'm getting one subscriber for one video, and I would like to see that pick up. But I mean, uh, I just keep making them as I can. Uh, of course, I take care of my brother-in-law right now. I can't get out and do things outside and make them like I'd like to. And but we're not worried about that because brother-in-law comes first. But um, I'd like to be able to leave my grandson something to take over that's worth something. When that's the reason he's on there with me is Papa on Deal. Because when he gets out of school and has time to go hunting and stuff and shooting, he can take the thing over and do some shooting there. See, I got to make some money. Uh, Try to get enough to where I can get the kind of optics that, well, like when I go shooting at the range, where I can have one set on the target and back where I shoot from, because everybody likes to see good groups, and I'll shoot good groups because I won't accept anything less than a 3/8 group. I ain't like most of them boys that shoot. They get down there and shoot an inch and a half at 100 yards, talk about how good it is. Well, if my gun won't shoot better than that, it won't have it. Uh, it's good enough for some things, but I like to shoot a deer right behind the ear, right there. Or if he's not aimed just right, I can shoot him right in the ear. But I want to turn that switch off just like that, and don't want him to suffer. I don't want him to know he died. And but anyhow, don't look like we're going to get anybody on here to talk to us. We'll give it another few minutes. It's about 7 minutes. We have 30 minutes in. And, um, I don't know if y'all can see them. There's some guns over there in the rack. Um, those are mostly black powder, and they got two 30-06s in there, but you can see them. Uh, I don't, might be just one in that rack, and there's another rack over there behind my head. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see. There it is, over the other side of that picture sticking up, and there's some in there. And I've got two. Let's see. I've got three cases down there on the floor. It's all got 30-06 and 243 and 22 250s in them. So I've got a lot of guns. I've got some down in the vault downstairs, and they're all in good shape. They all shoot good. Now, there's one, I think downstairs, a black powder that I made from a kit. I bought the trigger housing, everything like that, and I didn't like their wood that they had in there. It was a hardwood, but it didn't like to be uh, put on a router or anything like that. And so I had to I went and got me a good piece of walnut, and uh, I had one I done in walnut and one I done in cherry. And that cherry, that was a beautiful, beautiful